what kinds of tools or software packages do you use regularly or are excited about that our listeners should hear about?
Yeah, so I actually just learned that this is one of Serge's favorite packages, but
Oh.
I love the SHAP package in Python for using
Mm-hmm.
Shapley values to do explainable modeling. I think that as a data scientist, one of the best things you can do for yourself, for your stakeholders, for the people you're mentoring is to make everything you do more explainable. And I think that starts with having a well-defined problem and a well-defined problem space, a well-defined solution of what done means for whatever project you're working on,
Mm-hmm.
and then being able to walk even non-technical audiences through what exactly you're doing, how your solution is going to help solve their problem, and what the results of what you've done mean, right? If they're asking you why a player is churning out of a game, let's say, you need to be able to explain, okay, this is what the model saw, and this is what I think in real terms this means for the business, and what the model is telling us, all these features when they interact, what that means. And I think that can help every data scientist become more effective and be seen as a more trusted collaborative partner, as opposed to this person who knows this kind of magic like Python and can build machine learning and no one knows what that means. And it's all a big mystery. When
Mm-hmm.
you're early in your career, you might fall into the trap of feeling like that gives you power, that you know this thing that other people don't. And it does, in a sense, it very much does. But what gives you the ultimate power is making other people feel like they can understand what you do and empowering them to think like, hey, I can actually understand data science. It doesn't have to be this nebulous thing. It can be something that I can use in my workflow, right? And you can kind of open it up a little bit. And I think that will take people to the next level, at least in their careers. That's what's worked for me.
It's become almost a cliche on this show that when I ask people, what do you look for in people that you hire? That is the number one thing that people say is
Really?
communication. Yeah. The
Yeah.
ability to, great that you have all this technical background, but being able to communicate that to other people on the data science team or outside of the data science team, to other people in the company, to external stakeholders, being able to convey in a way that people can understand and show the impact of what you're doing is, the most desired skill that we look for. And actually, I'm going to ask you that question right now.
But you just answered it.
Oh, there you go. Wait. Just before we get to that, and I ask you what you look for in people that you hire, I just want to also make the point that you, before the program, when we were talking about SHAP, you described specific functionality that I thought was really cool that I hadn't thought about using that package for, and it's kind of obvious to me now, which is just for plotting interaction terms in a way that you can easily see how all the different interaction terms in your model are interacting with each other and having their impact on your outcome variable.
Yes. I love that because, a lot of us fall into the trap of just looking at like feature importance values, right? And you get some sort of magnitude that means nothing other than its relative magnitude to another term, right? But it doesn't really tell you anything about, let's say, for credit card fraud, one of the most important features could be the distance that someone from their home is making a charge, right? And it might seem obvious to us from intuition that for the model, it's probably the larger the distance that you are from your normal home, the more likely a charge is to be fraud. But you can't say that definitively just by looking at a feature importance, right? It could be that the closer you are to home, the more likely that a credit card transaction is fraudulent. And so without some sort of directional explanation, you kind of don't know that. And there are situations where it becomes more complicated, where it might be useful to understand not just the magnitude, but the direction that a feature has on the outcome and on the prediction that your model's making.
Yeah, and I think also one of the key points you were making was that the interaction between multiple of our independent variables with each other, right? So distance is only a factor when also some other thing is going on, like they're not using a chip-in PIN card or something.
Yeah, yes, exactly.